Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. Start with Philip and Xander and Sarah. Listen, at this point, it's just becoming very obvious that, you got Xander and Philip playing a game of chess, and Xander just keeps losing. He just keeps losing. No matter what kind of advice he gets from Sarah, Sarah's like, listen, I'm playing nice because at the end of the day, we both know that he's not capable of running Titan. So why don't you just do yourself a favor, play ball, let him screw up on his own, and get Titan the right way, Let him screw up on his own. And after just going back and forth about you're my girl, this, that, and the third, he finally agrees. This is after Sarah decided to not play mattress tag with him. And then he walks out. And the thing that was actually, I won't even sit there and say it was funny. So she basically denies him of sex. And, Xander's like, alright, well, fine or whatever. And he says a little, smirky comment or whatever. He walks out. And she's like, she has that little attitude like, fine or whatever. And then she takes his jacket, and then she hugs it over her, while she's laying down. I was like, all that attitude, all that bravado went absolutely nowhere the minute he walked out the door. Go on, Sarah. You do you. You stay strong. You got this. Listen, my feelings with Philip was from day one that this boy is a man-child. But he's not an idiot. And that's something that Xander doesn't seem to understand. And the minute he goes back downstairs to sit there and try to play nice because, Sarah said jump and he pretty much said hi, the minute he went down there and he was about to sit there and apologize, once again, Philip pushes his buttons and it just starts over again. And then he walks out. The thing that's really, I don't know how to say this right without cursing, but pretty much as he was leaving, Philip was like, listen, you may have love and passion and stuff like that, but it could be it could be corroded with anger and something else. And I'm just like, bro, he's literally telling you, when a bad guy is actually telling you, is giving you advice, you're screwing up. That's literally what happened. And I'm just like, so you're still just not gonna... I thought that Brady was just a moron, but, I don't know. I don't know with Xander. I mean, I don't know if I would call him so far as a moron, but he does really stupid things without, no, screw it. He is kind of a moron in a way. He is. Actually, tell you the truth, he was almost worse than a moron, because I'm still not letting go of that whole comment about him switching a baby and then acting like it just didn't matter. But the point is, the bad guys in there telling you advice, you're not listening to them. So, yeah. And Brady came to the house to look for Victor, and he heard him on the phone talking to somebody, and he pretty much just laid out his whole plan. Literally, he was like, so you're going to sit there and try to provoke Xander to doing something stupid so that way you can run Titan? What did Bella say about people just eavesdropping in on your conversations? Have you learned? Clearly he's learned nothing. So anyway, at this point, Philip is like, oh, well, you tried to kill my father, this, that, and the third. And, Brady was like, you weren't even here for that. But it happened, where were you at? And so Brady was like, so why shouldn't I tell Xander what you're up to? And then Xander came in and was like, me and Philip need to have a talk, and so he decided to not do it for some odd reason, and I really don't know why. Oh, I think he gave him permission to go up the stairs like he needed it. Because he doesn't, because that's his grandfather, so I don't... Whatever. Anyway, when Brady was going upstairs, he walked past Sarah, and he was like, why'd you get back together with him for? And that's when Sarah was like, I'm starting to question it myself, so I guess it's only going to be a matter of time. Listen, I have my own issues about Sarah kind of like forcing him to change and like forcing him to change for her. Like, he should want to change to be a better person. He shouldn't just want to do it just to appease Sarah. And I feel like a lot of the times whenever he does something stupid, whether it's Xander or somebody else, and Sarah has to then get on his case, it's like, bro, you should do this because you want to, not because she's telling you to. I feel like that just puts a lot of pressure on her, And I remember somebody at the comment section was there saying like, she makes him a better person. And I think that's great to an extent, but you kind of need to be your better person on your own. This person shouldn't have to carry you to make you a better person. I mean, yeah, they can see the best in you, and sometimes they can bring out the best in you, but you kind of have to have that material there. You can't just use them as a crutch, but... One second. And yeah, so I guess we're going to get to the other part. Which was Trip and Allie thing. Honestly, tell you the truth, like I said, this is just... Oh, actually no. There's one other thing. I almost forgot. And it was so... I'm not going to lie, it was kind of meaningless. So... You have John Black and you have Marlena. And the whole adventure is to go and get a burger from Roman. And then they get a burger. And then Roman is there questioning what happened to John's hand. And of course, Marlene just lies. Because, it's not really their truth to tell. It's Allie's. And the whole time, you have this thing between, like, John, like, snapping, and, like, Marlene is trying to calm him down. And other than that, I gotta be honest, nothing really happened. Except for the fact that somebody called Marlene up from a block number. That was it. And yes, now we dealing with this whole Allie and Trip and Steve and Kayla and Nicole thing. And honestly, tell you the truth, I'm not gonna lie, there's not really much to tell. There really isn't. Kayla feels bad for going behind Trip's back. Steve wants to know the truth one way or the other. Once again, you got Trip is just insisting on, well, I already told you the truth. I don't have to sit there and do a DNA test. And I'm like, bro, you're not helping your case. You're not. And yes, before I get to the end, I gotta sit there and say, so yeah, I've actually was sitting there doing a little bit of, I wouldn't sit there and say research, but I was looking it up. So, somebody in the comment section was happy that Trip didn't take the DNA test. And the reason why he said that is because it may come back that it's like a relative or whatever. And, I mean, at first, I'm not going to lie, when that person was like, I'm happy that Trip didn't do a DNA test, I was like, what? What? So I was about to go in for a minute, but then I read about it and I was like, okay, I understand. So, here's the thing. And this is just my prediction. And this is a sad thing is because I feel like I'm not the only person. So, if Trip does that DNA test, let's just say his brother, Joey, I think that's his name, somehow gets out of prison. And he's the one that did that to Allie. Trip takes that DNA test and it comes back that he is the father. He's going to be screwed. Now the thing is, you can actually I don't remember what it said, but it was something along the lines of like, you can tell they have to do like extra testing because the genetic markers are very similar because they're, you know, related. So they got to do like extra tests or whatever to confirm if it's Trip or if it's Joey. They're probably not going to do that because, well, last time I checked, I'm pretty sure Joey was in jail. So they're not going to really bother to go through that. They're just going to assume that Joey's still in jail. So that's what's going to want to probably happen. And they're going to do a DNA test. It's going to come up that he's a match for Allie's child. He's going to swear up and down that he didn't do it. Then 4 to 6 months later, and I really hope not so, they're going to find out that Joey escaped and that Joey's the one that did that to Allie. So, yeah. But you know the sad thing? With that being said, even with my prediction, the fact that he was so hesitant, that he was just like, well, I said I didn't do it, so that's enough. It's like, nah, bro. That still just leaves doubt. And it still doesn't help his cause. And yeah, on Allie's part, yeah, she just kind of keeps talking about the same thing. Allie, Nicole being Nicole, she doesn't want Allie to snap because, you know, poor Allie and whatever. And so she just kind of goes along with some BS theory. And, what else? It's becoming easier for Allie to, feed the baby, and, you know, she's starting to slowly get over the fact that even though that he's a product of, you know, that it's not his fault, and he's still just an innocent child. So she's starting to, starting to get better at it, I guess, as far as feeding him and not really looking at him as such like intent or whatever. And yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna lie, the thing is, it was a very short episode, and I mean it's a short review because nothing really happened. The only thing that was really actually somewhat interesting was the whole Sarah, Xander. I felt like I was about to name a name for those two, but Sarah, Xander, and Philip. That was the only interesting thing that happened. The whole Trip and Allie thing, it's just a continuation from Fridays. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm not gonna lie, when I saw it, I was like, while looking at my phone, because it's just the same thing, and I'm just not gonna really sit there and just keep harping on that. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I know this came out super late, but let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of this episode. Did you find this as much as, like, boring as... I wish I didn't say it was boring, but nothing happened. So I guess it was kind of like middle of the road. Let me know what you think about that whole theory. Do you think that Joey escaped and he's the one that did it? Because sooner or later they're going to do that DNA test, and, you know, we all know how that's going to turn out. So let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Be safe. I will catch you in the next review. And right now, I'm about to sit there and watch that mess of a show, GH. You know, I'm not going to lie. And I say this a lot, but as much as I love GH, Dave is more simplistic. Both in just storytelling and then reviewing. But anyway, I'm gonna get out.